Well, joining me now is Daisy Cooper, MP, Deputy Leader of the Liberal Democrats. Good morning to you, Daisy.
Good morning.
Very good to talk to you. Thank you very much indeed for sparing the time this morning. A very, very good result for you, the Lib Dems, in Somerton and Frome. Your response?
Well, as you say, it was a fantastic result for Sarah Dyke, the new MP, and of course for the Lib Dems as well. We're completely over the moon. What we heard from voters right across the constituency was that they are sick and tired of this Conservative government not doing enough to tackle the cost of living crisis, not doing enough to sort out the crisis facing our NHS and social care sector as well. And what we can see from this result is we can say that the Liberal Democrats are back in the West Country.
So when we look at the other seats here, Selby and Ainsty, Lib Dems came, what was that, 6th here with 3.3% of the vote. The Lib Dems in Uxbridge came 5th there with 1.7%. So just in terms of where the Lib Dems go, obviously, as we said in the West Country, a good result. Just taking that across the country, are you really making inroads? The sort of inroads that you need to be making if you are to be taken seriously, or indeed if you are going to get into government?
Yes, we are. We're making really big inroads. You will know that this is the 4th by-election that the Liberal Democrats have won in this Parliament. That is the first time that any party has had 4 by-election gains in a single Parliament since the 1990s. The win that we had in Tiverton and Honiton last year made political history. It was the biggest by-election win that had ever happened in this country. And of course, if you just think back to 2.5 years, nobody thought that we could even win Chesham and Amersham. We won Chesham and Amersham, we won North Shropshire, we won Tiverton and Honiton, we've now won Somerton and Frome. Yes, we are on the right trajectory, and Liberal Democrats have said that we are going to continue to focus our resources in those areas where Liberal Democrats are the key challengers to the Conservatives. Our goal is to try and elect as many Liberal Democrat MPs as possible and to play our part in removing the Conservatives from government.
Just in terms of where you go from here, how much of this is a positive vote for the Lib Dems and how much of it is actually a vote away from the two main parties? As you said, you want the Conservative Party out of government. I think there is a sentiment across the United Kingdom where people are sick and tired of having a ruling party that is meant to be Conservative that, quite frankly, doesn't espouse Conservative values.
Well, in every single election, every general election, every by-election, people vote for all sorts of reasons. There are people who always vote proactively and positively for our candidates and for our party, as happened in Somerton and Frome. Sarah Dyke is a well-known person in the community. Her family goes back generations there. She's a local councillor. So many people did vote proactively and positively for Sarah and the Lib Dems because of some of the work we've been doing, both locally but also here in Parliament. But in every single general election and by-election, people also have to vote tactically as well. And for as long as we have this broken political system, first past the post, every political party in every election has to appeal to voters either for a positive vote or for a tactical vote.
So that's a really interesting point, actually. With first past the post, it's very difficult for smaller parties. So I'm assuming you would welcome proportional representation. Many other smaller parties welcome that. Would that give you a better, more balanced House of Commons?
I think that a fairer voting system, first and foremost, would be much better for voters. You know, voters hate being told that their vote is going to be wasted if they vote for, you know, a third or a fourth or a fifth party. People want to vote proactively and positively for a person or for a party. That can't happen under this broken first-past-the-post system. So, yes, Liberal Democrats want to see a fairer voting system in this country, and we think that, first and foremost, that would be good for voters, but I think it would also provide a more balanced Parliament as well, so that every small party, every single part of our society can have voices and representatives sitting in Westminster in the House of Commons.
Perhaps finally, if I may, and I know time is tight for you, the Coutts affair. The fact is, the Coutts and Nigel Farage, he's won this. Are you worried about politically exposed people being censored by banks?
Well, I think the issue about politically exposed people is quite sort of separate. There have been a number of challenges, I know, for a number of politicians in Westminster when they are politically exposed and they've been trying to get bank accounts sorted. So I do think there are concerns around that, and certainly that needs to be sorted out. But I'd say on this particular example, I would call it a score draw. Effectively, Nigel Farage, I think rightly, has actually had an apology for some of the words that were said about him, but equally the bank has made it clear that he wasn't debanked, he wasn't having all his banking services withdrawn, he was just being offered a different kind of bank account based on different criteria. So this particular example, I would say,
I'm not sure that's true, because
there are bigger issues about political.
I'm not sure that's true, because the bank said he fell below the minimum threshold for Coutts, but actually they don't really have a minimum threshold. It's in their own gift to give that. They then gave him an account with the bigger bank, with the parent bank. But I think it's a victory for free speech, and it's really important, is it not, that we have free speech in this country?
Oh, I am a huge free speech advocate, I really am, and I've spoken out on many occasions in the House of Commons, and I think possibly even to your viewers as well, about the importance of free speech in this country. And I've been appalled at some of the ways, you know, we've had even in Hertfordshire, our police and crime commissioner was saying that journalists shouldn't be covering protests, which I thought was an extraordinary kind of claim, and encouraging journalists to change their editorial guidelines. Of course we have to stand up for free speech in this country, and as a Liberal Democrat, I will continue to do that.
Daisy, thank you very much indeed for your time. Congratulations on your win. That's Daisy Cooper, MP, Deputy Leader of the Liberal Democrats.